Hello everybody, awesome ViChe here, self-proclaimed awesomest person on YouTube. Okay, so it has officially been 1 month since my first impressions video of Linux, and I'd like to go ahead and do my impressions after a month, cause yeah, it has been quite a stretch. So first off, we'll start with pros and cons and whatnot, and maybe we'll go on to my recommendation, whether or not, yes, no. So, pros and cons. Oh, and by the way, I'll also link in the description for the earlier video. Okay, so pros and cons. So, let's say pros first. I highlighted earlier in my other video the pros of Software Center and the Synaptic Package Manager, so you can check that out. Basically, it has like about 17,000 different packages you can install. All of that convenience, all of it fully featured, free, which I like because it's all open sourced and all of them are made by developers who actually care about the program, not about the bottom dollar, which is always nice, because you always get a good experience with those kind of things, because they're updated frequently and consistently with good updates and yeah, that sort of thing. So that's one of the pros. Another of the pros is Linux is absolutely free. You don't have to pay a single cent for it. You may have to pay if you buy a disc, but that's only like maybe $1. That's just to cover the amount of money it costs for the CD. And that's if you could find them. You usually just download and burn it. So it's free, which means, because I've heard some things, some speculations to Windows as they're upgrading to Windows 10, but I heard there might be afterwards a subscription-based service or whatever, a subscription for your operating system, and that doesn't seem, it almost doesn't seem legal really, but it doesn't seem ethical to me, let's say. Okay, so it's free, it's cheap, everything's programmed good. What are the cons? Let's go to moderate meh. Not really cons, but definitely not pros. You're definitely not going to get all your Windows programs onto here. Wine could do a lot, but it can only do so much. Wine will give you compatibility with a lot of things. Gaming seems to be a little bit of trouble with Wine, with some games. I think it's an issue because DirectX is not at all implemented within Linux, so OpenGL is the only thing you could go for. So definitely not the best for gaming, but not the worst for gaming. There's a plenty of, if you see my video right before this, it would be number 2 Plaguing. You could see that I actually have quite a full library of Steam games compatible with Linux, and I foresee them becoming even more potent as Steam machines age, because Steam machines really are, I think, gonna bring Linux gaming to the forefront. So with that being said, let's go on to, let's say, negatives. Now, I've had some issues, and you've even noticed some of them, on some of my earlier videos, my webcam completely freaking out, and driver issues it seems a little more common than I'd like. Like in some games like Counter-Strike, for sure you saw that. I I didn't have I wasn't right clicking and my scope kept zooming in and out and in and out. It seems right click is a little buggy. I do have a Razer mouse, and I've heard a lot of bad things about Linux and Razer. They really don't mesh. So it could be as simple as get a different mouse, but this one's comfortable and I love it because it's a 12 button gaming mouse, and I really don't want to get rid of things like that. I want to upgrade, don't want to downgrade. Aw. There's a lot of birds outside my window. I really like it. By the way, it's just becoming spring now, so definitely a good day outside. But that was a segue. And wow, 6 minutes. I got all my information out that I wanted to in 6 minutes. So now, I guess, comes the recommendation. Yes, no, maybe so. What do I say? I say, yes. If, well, okay, I got another segue. It's another moderate. Not all Linux applications are installed as simply and easily as from the package manager, where you just click it and it installs. Unfortunately, there's some bash files and some different files. I think what are they? Yeah, bash files pretty much. And there's a couple other types of files where you have to input strings of text into a terminal to get them to install properly. It's not a simple double click and it works. So a little more. It's definitely better on the brain not having just mindless user. Just everything is so user friendly. It's a lot more customizable than Windows for sure. You could, like for example, I'm running Linux Mint Cinnamon, and that's just, the Cinnamon is just a different, like the desktop. This whole desktop experience is known as Cinnamon. I could download different ones, XFE, Mate, and they all have different looks to them, Unity. So it's a lot more customizable. Even this whole menu bar, this menu I don't even need here. I don't need that. Can move everything. It could all be different. So it's definitely better in that aspect. So if you're one for customizability, then yay, come here. If you're one for if you just wanna sit down, turn it on and it works. I heard Macs are good for that, but money spent is high on those, and those aren't good at gaming at all, so definitely not that. Depends. Different, I think the term is different horses for different courses. So gaming machine, I'll say moderate. Productivity machine, high. Low cost, high. This can run on lower hardware really efficiently. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it for this. My recommendation would be, if you're tired of Windows, definitely go for it. There's plenty of different Linuxes to choose from. And yes, that's the plural, I think. Linuxi. I'm sure Linuxes, but Linux distributions, that's the plural. Anyways, there's different ones. I suggest going for something based on Debian, because you could just double click on the icon to install Debian packages. Those are a lot easier than other things. If it has the package manager included, even better. Distributions such as Ubuntu and Linux Mint do have the software center that I was talking about earlier, like Synaptic Package Manager. I am not 100% sure about other distributions. I know Arch Linux has its own software center type thing, and I've done a little research on Debian, but I haven't, like the purist Debian, but I haven't actually seen fully what they have. I'm not sure if they have software managers or whatnot. So that's gonna be pretty much it for this, and if you liked it, then great. Thank you very much for liking it. Maybe comment on, because I'm having some problems with my mouse. Maybe it's just they don't like Razer products. Maybe there's a simple fix I could get. I'm on Linux Mint 17.3. Rosa, I think it's called, or Rasa, or I think Rosa, something like that. So if you got tips in that regard, then you could go ahead and shoot them my way, and I'd be greatly appreciative of that. There's millions of other people you could be watching probably, so I'm glad you chose to watch me. Thank you.